Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. This is Tetcher, and this is episode 2 of the Tetcher Community Challenges show, where we have been looking at some full damage supports that you guys have sent in. We've already seen a fairly spectacular Pombo combo from J Hunter playing the Lily, and we saw a bit of a lower level game, but still some very fun plays from Castile playing the Brightwing. But we're not going to waste too much time, and we're going to drop into the next game in our list. We're going to be loading into that now, and this is going to be a Malfurion play, which is pretty exciting. I am always a fan of Malfurion, so let's head into the game straight away. And we can see here, this is going to be our hero team, so we'll introduce the enemies first. And we can see here, we have Sorcha playing the Butcher. We have ABC Young playing the Nazebo. Ooh, man! Playing the Rhaegar, Silent Bish playing the Zeratul, and Schnoo playing the Arthas. And our heroes on the left-hand side, it is going to be Digital Anna playing the Butcher, Rainian playing the Sergeant Hammer, Aruhen playing the Nazebo, Mordot playing the Kharazim. He's actually, I believe, maybe the one who sent them in, because these two actually sent me a free... sorry, it is Mordot, yeah, playing the Kharazim, and Dafer playing the Malfurion, and Dafer is our hero. These two together, like these two in the same game, sent me a couple replays, so I was... this is the one that I found the most interesting and the most exciting, and it's also the only one they wanted. Do not be afraid to send me losing replays, because I am more than happy to watch any replay, winning or losing. So, Dafer is going to be our hero for today, and let's have a look at what his level 1 talent is going to be. Malfurion doesn't really have too many options for damage talents on the early levels, so this is going to be personal choice. It's going to be the Moonburn, extra damage to minions and mercenaries. It's not necessary. I really would have been happy with just damage to heroes talents, go whatever you want, but Moonburn is still pretty effective, so we're of course going to fast forward to get to some moments of action. And for now, oh, I hit the wrong button. Pause. I hit the wrong button there. I meant to adjust the game speed, and instead I just fast forwarded everything. So we're back on Dafer now, and we will play through this and slow down the speed. Dafer already taking quite a bit of harass, but he's Malfurion. He can heal himself back up and get himself into a fairly safe position without being in too much danger. Once again, taking a little bit of harass from Arthas, and actually finds Zeratul very nicely, able to reveal him, make sure he doesn't get himself in too much danger. And in the meantime, Kharazim has died in one of the other lanes. But once again, spotting Zeratul, having to back out, and does get away. He's doing a pretty good job of not getting himself picked off so far, and is doing a nice job of keeping the lanes clear, keeping his lane protected. He doesn't need to win the lane, just needs to not lose it, and he's doing a pretty good job with that. And we do see a Nazebo death. Currently, Dafer's team not doing the best job of staying alive. Zeratul once again coming back. Dafer taking a bit of damage, once again able to back out. It's running a bit low on mana. He's having to burn a lot of healing to keep himself alive thanks to all this harass. But he is staying alive and not losing lanes. So he's doing a pretty good job. We're going to fast forward a bit here, because he just gets to farm for a little bit here. Another death for the blue team. Currently 3 deaths to 0. Not looking too good for them. And I did spoil the result of this game, but it doesn't matter so much because it's all about the plays. And Malfurion did get rooted there, but once again, a bit low on mana. Just going to grab Fountain now because he feels comfortable. Doesn't need to throw out his healing ability. He can keep himself quite healthy. At his level 4 talent, he did take Illumin's Grace to increase the range of his Regrowth, Moonfire, and Entangling Roots by 30%. Which is pretty effective. First tribute, spawning up in the top lane, where Malfurion is. Is he going to be able to grab it? He has Butcher here with him. Digital Anna diving in quite deep here. They're going on to Arthas, completely surrounding him. And they are, in fact, able to finish him off. Dafer looking for an opportunity to try and get in here, trying to do his damage and get the kill. And with the help of the fact they have them heavily outnumbered, they're able to grab the kill. And now they're going to try and grab the tributes. However, the annoyingness that is Nazebo spiders will at least delay this tribute for a couple seconds. Zeratul also coming in has been a bit of a thorn in Malfurion's side, but with the stun from Butcher, they're able to take him down. Another fantastic job by our team, and they've managed to turn this from a 3 kills to 0 into a 4 kills to 3. So very nice job there by the blue team. So they're looking good. Butcher chasing pretty deep. Butcher and the Karazim tried to grab that Malfurion. Dafer, in fact, is going to keep chasing, tries to root him, but does not land it. So not able to get anything out of it. And so the first tribute does go over to our heroes, who are now moving down towards the bot lane. Malfurion just holding the mid lane for now. Sergeant Hammer and Nazebo are in the top lane themselves. So not going to have too much trouble. Dafer getting charged by the Butcher here. Zeratul here as well. It's pretty hard to get out of that situation when you're that outnumbered. So he does go down. In the meantime, Sergeant Hammer and Nazebo are just pushing this top lane really aggressively. The Butcher and Karazim, they are just farming themselves together. Let's have a look at level 7 talents. We have the Strangling Vines, which increases the entangling root's damage by 100%. And so far, Dave has been playing pretty spectacular for a full damage Malfurion. He's not just been spamming abilities for the sake of it. He's been keeping his lane pretty safe, pretty secure, and in this case, not demounting himself, just so he can stay mounted and get up to that tribute as quick as possible. Finds Malfurion. There is a Butcher just to the side of him. The root will hit that Butcher, but it won't keep him rooted for that long. And of course, he was unstoppable while he was actually in his charge. Dafer taking a lot of damage. Dafer goes down. And now it's just Malfurion and Sergeant Hammer and Karazim versus pretty much the entire team, but we're seeing Blue Team Butcher arriving. Karazim's down though, so that's both potential healings. But Digital Anna trying to take down Butcher there. The stuns just going back and forth. Sergeant Hammer takes out Zeratul and Butcher. Can they deny the tribute? No, they can't. Arthur's grabbing that just in time. But that is still only 1 tribute to 1 in favour of our blue team. And it's not fair on Butcher. He didn't have mana and he didn't have mana and he didn't have cooldowns. So it doesn't matter. He tried his best. But yep, it's still 1-to-1. Levels still pretty much equal. Both teams doing a pretty decent job right now. But we're, of course, rooting for Dafer on his Malfurion to try and get this going. He's got his lane push at the moment. He's once again going to find Zeratul. Butcher's here. And Dafer, once again, going to meet his end. Due to the fact that Butcher Zeratul is a lot of burst damage and Malfurion is healing over time. Which is something that the Americans don't really seem to get. But they've been making it work, so who am I to judge? You can see tribute already starting to be taken. Butcher gonna deny it with his ruthless onslaught here. Just gonna charge into this Karazim, trying to keep him alive, but it's not gonna be enough. Butcher goes down, but so does Rhaegar, and that is the only healer for the side. Malfurion arriving, getting caught in the zombie wall, but he's gonna be able to take down the Zeratul, and is now chasing in here. Nice moonfire onto the Butcher, able to take him down, and now moving for that turn. And he now also has his heroic. Didn't need to use it in that last fight, but he now has it available for when they next team fight and when he next needs it. We're in. Heading back to the mid lane. Just clearing that up, farming it up, able to root Man as well. Doing a pretty nice job with that. Just going to push Man back with auto attacks. Doesn't need to waste mana on his abilities, just moonfire whenever possible. And here comes Arthas, not able to catch him. Good reactions there by Dafer. The rest of his team taking that Bruiser camp, and it looks like, as they say, they want to do the boss next. Sergeant Hammer actually in a nice position here to grab both, but Dafer having to dodge out roots and dogs and everything, and clear up the lane so that it doesn't push too hard. His lane still doing a pretty good job of staying alive. And Dafer moving up here once again, finds the Zeratul with his moonfire, doing an amazing job with that. And his continued chase gets the silence onto Arthas and finishes him off, so he couldn't activate his heal. Ravenous Spirit chasing out the Nazebo Ancestral, used onto Rhaegar himself. The Butcher not even demounting, just didn't even chase. And that once again is going to be a tribute going over to our heroes. They will grab that and begin their push. And that was a very nice silence onto Arthas, because it means he couldn't activate his Army of the Dead heal. The sacrifice ability, so that he didn't get any more healing, and they were able to take him down pretty easily. So now, we're going to see them just push the top lane, do a very good job. And for those who haven't seen Twilight Dream, it's an AoE damage ability, does actually a very decent amount of damage, and silences all enemies in that area for 3 seconds. It's a very decent ability. It's just you are missing out on Tranquility, which is one of the best abilities in the game. We're seeing Butcher going very deep here. Malfurion trying to push it in here. Divine Palm used on the Butcher, but Malfurion is caught in the Furnace Blast there, and unfortunately does go down. We do see Karazim go down as well, and with both supports, this is going to be our heroes retreating, trying to get out of dodge as quick as possible. Hammer sieging up against the Butcher, and of course gets Butcher's branded. And we're going to see the Zebo tied up there. And the Yeah, a bit of a misplay there by Sergeant Hammer. She tried. Dafer, our hero here, making one of the first mistakes of playing with other people. And that is, you may never, no matter how many games you play with, if you are playing with someone for the first time ever, you may not question anything they do because they've only just met you. You've only just met them. How can you judge them? You're a worse player than them. We've just started. How dare you question someone here? How dare you question someone on the internet? So, we can see that Dafer making that mistake. We're actually going to... he says, Hammer, you can use Z to get out instead of unsieging. We're actually going to back up here and see if Sergeant Hammer did have Z available. Select Sergeant Hammer. 5 seconds. Alright, let's press play. 4, 2... She did not have Z available, so that is fair enough. She did not have the Z available. And there we go. There is Dafer letting us know that Hammer could have used Z. Unfortunately, Hammer did not have those cooldowns available. But he still made the mistake of questioning the play of someone on the internet. A bad mistake to make. Clearly, it's on cooldown. A correct response may be a bit rude, but just like it was on CD would have been good. That might have got the point across. Clearly, it was a bit much, but a apt response, an obvious answer to that. But Dafer is about to make the second biggest mistake you can make while playing a game of Heroes, or any other game, MOBA or RTS for that matter. And that is to move from pointing out one mistake to pointing out another bigger one. And once again, you can't call out mistakes that other people make. How dare you? How very dare you point out a mistake someone made to, you know, maybe help them get better? How dare you do that? Dafer, what are you thinking? How dare you try to help other people improve? Let's watch Dafer make more mistakes here. And, yeah, it's on cooldown. Like we said, an okay response. Dafer going to stand still so he can type, which is one of my favourite things. It is one of my favourite things where you see people who literally do just not move. They don't right-click as to where they could be going to next, where their team is. They don't try and move to their team. They literally just stop whatever they are doing and they start typing out a message. That is my favourite thing in this game, and it's a very cool thing to tell. So, Dafer, then why did you siege back up in front of Butcher? Once again, a really good response and a very good question. It was a really dumb move to siege up in front of Butcher. It basically got Hammer killed. She could have tried to stutter step backwards and micro. And for those who don't know, we're going to select Sergeant Hammer here again. There she is. Sergeant Hammer siege mode. Become immobile, the first problem, and increase basic attack range by 90%. Now, Sergeant Hammer was basically in point blank range and deal splash damage equal to 30% bonus damage to minions and do 25% splash damage and do 30% bonus damage to minions and structures. Now, I don't know about you guys, but I didn't see anything in that tooltip that inferred that Sergeant Hammer would do more damage to the Butcher and have less chance of dying to said Butcher by being immobile and not doing any bonus damage to heroes. Didn't really see anything about that, so Dafer, he does actually have a correct point here. He is 100% correct. Let's see how... But, Sergeant Hammer has done a pretty good job of defending herself so far, of explaining her actions. It was on cooldown. Yes, it was. So let's see how she reacts to this. To this issue being brought up to her. Because it is a fair point. And, yeah, you were in fact trying to kill him. That was a fair point. Okay, well, Sergeant Hammer, that's why you don't question the moves that other people make on the internet. Because, you need to do what I do and do it in a show where they can't hear you and there's a very low chance they'll actually watch your video. Oh my god. Let's get back into it. And Dafer, once again, pulling the stop moving. Yeah, there we go. Dafer going a bit over the top there with the response. Yeah, and Sergeant this is just completely descended into madness here. Just everyone no one's getting along now. We're seeing the team bonds shatter so quickly. And for all intensive purposes, Malfurion is right. And Sergeant Hammer is wrong. But Sergeant Malfurion has still learned the biggest message, and that is, you should not tell someone that they are wrong. We're just going to pop back into the game right now. Boss has been taken. We can see the majority of blue team moving up to the mid lane to try and catch someone out, whereas Malfurion is staying in the bot lane as he has wave clear thanks to Moonburn. So he's just going to clear that up as quick as possible. The rest of the blue team trying to chase people down. Malfurion finding Zeratul again with another amazing Moonfire, which he does have full Moonfire for. So he has a 60% increased radius and a 50% reduced mana cost on his Moonfire. So he can continue to spam this, revealing Zeratul anytime he feels like. He's going very aggressively there. There is the Void Prism coming in from Zeratul. He's standing in the Golem stun. There we go, moves out of it. So he doesn't get stunned when the Golem comes out. And in the meantime, most of Zeratul's team is dying. We see Sergeant Hammer there, able to boost quite nicely away from Arthas so that he does not get caught up. And Malfurion finding the Tribute. Going to try and pick it up. We don't know where Zeratul is. So, Malfurion actually going to pick this up. Zeratul not there in time. There's Zeratul. He's still busy defending the Golem. So, very nice job there by blue team. Able to pick up pretty much everything. And they have the Tribute as well. Picking up a lot of kills. Getting the Tribute count to 1-1. Pretty fantastic job there. We're going to fast forward through this. As it looks like, once again, Dave spotting out the Zeratul. And he's going to go and join this team up, taking this boss camp. They're not going to have too much trouble with this. We can see Arthas in the top lane. We can see Zeratul in the bot lane. Moves out Zeratul. They're going to have a massively difficult time taking care of that, trying to steal that boss. So they weren't in too much danger. Now, Malfurion moving in behind the Butcher and Rhaegar. They want to try and grab the Butcher here. The root not landing. You need to try and predict people with it. Butcher gets the stun though. Zombie Wall also not blocking, but it did slow him down. And they're still able to get the kill. Level 16 is available. We have the Hindering Moonfire coming in from Dafer. Now, the Hindering Moonfire, there is another talent on that level that actually does increase your damage, and someone else did go for the build where they did have the extra damage, but I'm going to allow the Hindering Moonfire because it is a pretty... It's still very aggressive. You're still chasing down, you're still CCing. So I'm going to allow it. I apologize to the person who did upload the video with the increased damage, but I believe that I personally thought that this one would be more entertaining. So we're going to jump back into the game there. But yeah, Hindering Moonfire, I shall allow it. At least it's not a healing ability, as some other people did go for. Going to see the hero team here. Just grab that Tribute, bring the count up to 2-1, as they do have that talent advantage. So they're able to play a bit more aggressively. And in fact, they're going to go so aggressively that they're going to dive onto, straight onto the enemy side of the map. The Zebo, with that Ravenous Spirit, just try to land it down here and doing a decent job. A lot of damage coming down here. Malfurion just dropping as much damage as he can here. He's now going in, trying to pick anyone. Gets the sides of 3 members, especially Zeratul. They take him down. Really nice silence there by Dafer. Able to just catch out those 3 members, and 2 out of 3 of them did die. A fantastic job there. Now we're just going to see our hero team push into the keep here. The boss is already dead, but the keep will likely soon follow it. Butcher going pretty ham there, but they're still going to be able to grab this keep. And the Lands of the Sorter, able to knock down some good people. There's the root as well. And we do see the Nazebo go down. Dafer getting Divine Palm. Should really turn around to that activate. Never mind, nice knockback from Hammer. And Dafer is saved. And the Moonfire and the Spiders, they're able to get the kill together. They're all pretty low here. Dafer currently actually standing in Hammer range. And yeah, Hammer... that could be considered as BM, but we're going to consider it as a attempt to patch up a friendship that has been damaged throughout the game, and now they are best friends again. We will imagine that this is the case. So for now, we're going to see our hero team, who are now best of friends again, taking this camp and preparing to grab the next tribute, which will be a curse tribute for them, and will be very good for helping them get towards the end of this game. They will grab this. Nazebo, in fact, heading towards the Siege Giant camp. There is the curse. That Siege Giant camp won't actually get very far. Karaziv. Okay, yeah, you should leave this. You should leave that where it is. We're going to see Dafer move back in here and start taking that Siege Giant camp. And they're going to be able to finish that off very quickly. And that's 2 mercenaries. They're not going for the end. They're not going for the push. They are on even talents. So they're just going pretty aggressively here. And they're just going to start pushing in here. And doing as much as they can. And yeah, they're doing fine. They're going to start going quite aggressive. And try to push as much as they can. And yeah, they're going to be able to finish this off quite quickly. Able to grab the walls. And someone is dying. Who is it? Oh, it's Zebo. And Sergeant Hammer's being chased down as well. Run, Hammer. He's spent too much time typing and now he's dying. In the meantime, our heroes are pushing down the keep. So these guys who are in this area need to be back and defend. But they're not going to get the keep. They were close, but they do have to back up. And we see, man, a bit out of position here. And Butcher wants to punish this. Goes in very deep. Malfurion looking to try and catch up here. Gets the hindering moonfire onto Urban. But now there's a lot of people here. There's the silence. Getting 2 people. But unfortunately, no capitalization because they have to get into the Void Prison to get out of there. Good divine palm onto Dave there. He's trying to flee. He gets out. Butcher and Karazim body blocking anyone away from him. Ancestral does heal up Arthur's, but Butcher's Brad. The Butcher able to sustain all the way through that. And now it is just Urban. Once again, another missed route. But they're still going to give chase. And now they can actually just go and grab the boss if they want to and pretty much take the game, or at least take that bottom keep. Amazing job by them, and they're vastly approaching their level 20 talents. Karazim just chilling in the spot lane to soak up the minions until then. And Butcher and Malfurion are just going to be taking care of this boss. Level 20s have now been hit. Dafer getting rooted there. He has taken the Nightmare, increased Twilight Dream silence duration by 4 seconds. And it also slows enemies by 50%. Zeratul, this time coming into deny, but was not there in time. Butcher, gonna punish that, and he does die. The Ravenous Spirit also used as well. A lot of people have now come here to try and punish this boss being taken, but Dafer slowing Urman, who is in full retreat now. He is in dog mode, so he's going to be very hard to catch, even with that hindering moonfire. Dafer and Mordet pushing in. They're able to kill the Gargantuan there. Gary is down. Dafer, in a very apt Reaper skin, has been reaping this entire game. We haven't actually looked at his damage count here. We can actually see he has 26,000. It is the lowest on his team except for Karazim, but he's still been doing a fantastic job. He also has this 13k healing, half as much as the Rhaegar on the other team, but still pretty nice. The Furnace Blast being used there, but it pops just before he's actually able to get in range of anyone. There's the silence. Kills off Butcher again. Dafer has had those on point the entire game right now. And they're chasing into Slew. The hindering moonfire stopping him from escaping. Butcher just continuing to chase him down. The root once again missing. He's had a lot more accuracy with his heroic, which is point blank AoE, than he has with his root, which is a ranged skill shot. So a little bit off there. Dafer going to be pushing with the boss and the rest of his team. Nazebo and Sergeant Hammer are grabbing the boss in the top lane, but we're seeing Digital Anna, Mordet and Dafer again to try and end the game. Void Prism will delay this for a bit as Karazim actually not being delayed. He's not apparently in the Void Prism. And Dafer trying to just push in here. Zeratul gets taken down. Dafer heals himself and Karazim healing him up as well. They are just sustaining each other. They're going for core, doing a very good job here. Nazebo not enough to stop this, and that is GG. And another win for the Tetcher heroes that have managed to submit their replays to this show. Fantastic play there by the Malfurion at the end, and some friendships that were obviously patched up by the end of that. We saw friendships torn apart and then glued back together again in a good show of camaraderie. Alright, so we're going to head into game number 3 right now, game number 2 of this particular part. And, ooh, do I go with that one or do I go with that one? I think I'm going to go with this one. So, we're going to be jumping into a Rhaegar game now. And I am very much a fan of this Rhaegar's name, because he's a man after my own heart and after my own name. So we're just going to jump into the game right here, and we'll introduce the non-heroes team, the villains, on the blue hand side here, who will turn red once we go onto the vision of our hero. But we have Lord B on the Lee. We have Radovac, or Redovac, that's a cool name. Going to be very cool when Sergeant Morales comes out for you. On the Jaina, not even going to try. On the Zeratul, Magina. On the, Magina, that's close enough. On the Taranza, and Spuk on the Valor. And our heroes on the right-hand side, it is going to be Nephilim. On the Uther here, we have Vanquish on the Gazebo, eventually, Evgeny? I'm going to go with Evgeny on the Rexar, Parry Blossom on the Kael'thas, and our hero is going to be Chris on the Rhaegar. So, we're just going to get into this game.
I see.
And a full damage Rhaegar is something I was quite excited about seeing. Starting off at level 1, Lightning Shield also increased the damage of target's next basic attack, 3 basic attacks by 30%. That's a very nice boost. That's a very nice boost indeed. It's a shame that no one on his team is really auto-attack focused.
Battle commencing.
Excuse me. Also, I just remembered to say, yes, I noticed in the first episode that I did have my logo blocking over portraits. I have moved it. I apologize for that. So for now,
1.
game just starting up. We're going to fast forward to get to the action. Chris and Nazebo popped in the top lane. He's right next to a stealth, finds Jaina as well. It's a lot of burst damage. Slowing Totem comes down, heals himself back up, boosts his own attack, and is now going to try dual Zeratul. But unfortunately, he finds the damage of Jaina and dies. In the meantime, bot lane is having an almost reverse situation, but unfortunately Misha, having to back up, takes a bit too much damage. And Parry Blossom also taking a bit of damage. Lily and Tyrande, 2 healers compared to the Nephilim, 1 healer, doing a good job. And Vanquish is having issues of his own. He is able to get out though, and now that Chris is back, he is going to get nicely healed up. Uther also going a little bit of damage to start off with, at least. The Fist of Justice coming in from the first start, but we're interested in Chris, that extra damage on most of his auto attacks. So he's just helping clear the lane at the moment, using his Lightning Shield whenever as it does AoE damage, and it's buffing his auto attack so he can clear lanes that little bit quicker, just with all that extra damage. Chris looking for an opportunity for the moment. We're going to skip forward a bit here, see what we can find. First shrine being fought over at top. Bottom shrine already gone down. Chris just using that totem for vision as opposed to grabbing the shrine first and then using it for vision. In the meantime, Nazebo taking a lot of damage, but Zeratul has also been dropped quite low. He does have that block though, which is seriously going to help against Chris, who's now going to try and kill him. Got that bonus damage off of his wolf form, trying to kill off Zeratul here, but not going to be able to catch him yet. And luckily turned around just in time to dodge out that Ice Lance of Jaina. But on the bright side, they do still have both shrines in their favor. They're going on to Zeratul here. Zeratul going very low and being forced out again. That bonus damage from the Rhaegar here, really forcing people out here. You're going to see Rexar attempt to take the Dragon Knight, and he would in fact get it. The Owl a tiny bit too slow, and that's first Dragon Knight of the game. Going over to our heroes. Chris on that Rhaegar. Takes Cone of Cold, takes a Zeratul. He might turn to dog form to get the bonus damage here. He does have it off cooldown, doesn't use it. Why? No, I'm selecting the wrong hero. There we go. I don't know if he had it off cooldown or not, but he was still able to kill him. There we go. You can see here by those icons around him, his level 2 talent was the Feral Heart, so he had increased health and mana regeneration. While in Ghost form, there is no damage talent on this level, so this is acceptable. Chris pushing forward here, trying to get any damage. Once again, finds Zeratul, who's been doing a very aggressive job of trying to kill our hero during this game, but has been less than lucky so far. Chris been doing a good job of staying alive, has only managed to die once so far, and we see that Rexar has also only lost Misha once. Chris turning around, does a little bit of damage. Jaina will get called out here. The stun lands on Misha, but Jaina gets called out. Chris in the back line, wrecking Lily, and now turns onto Zeratul. They pick him off as well, and Chris gets out of there, gets a heal from Uther. And Chris basically playing like a melee assassin in this game, being very aggressive into the backline heroes and doing a lot of damage. Uther also with another basic attack talent, with his first basic attack talent, just for storing his mana here. And Chris gonna be moving back into the lane after going B for some health and mana himself. And now looking to try and capture mercenaries. Doesn't have any assistance. Going to try and do it himself. See how this goes. Already taking a lot of damage. Able to take down the wizard. We're going to fast forward here. He's doing alright. And he runs away. Alright, he got 2. He was able to get 2 and then had to back up. So now he's going to try and join his team. And not really able to get much. His Nazebo is dead, but instead he's just going to soak the mid lane. Top lane currently left completely unattended. Chris finding once again Zeratul and Jaina, and he is picked off for having the audacity to trying to soak a lane. Nazebo arriving back in the top lane to soak up Rhaegar, still dead. Rexar still alive. Kael'thas finally in his lane soaking up. And we see our Rexar here, our Rhaegar here, grabbing that forward momentum. Now, he does have a talent that allows him to, he does basically have a Searing Attacks talent on this level, but we're gonna let this slide. We'll let it slide this time, because this will allow him to lower the cooldowns of basically anything he wants. He can just get that lightning shield a lot more often and go a lot more aggressive with it. And you'll see him here. They will grab this shrine in time to protect this and allow Kael'thas to actually back up out of here and not survive. He tried, but it didn't succeed. And Rexar being out, needs to keep himself alive here. Rhaegar continuing to soak this top lane. And the Zebo heading to the mid lane to run straight into Zeratul, reveals him with the frogs and throws some spiders at him. Zeratul blinking away for this. Rexar finally Lord B. Now we're going to see blinds versus extra damage here. The lightning shield doing a good job because it's keeping that damage on even when he is blinded. He's doing as much damage as he can, and he's already winning this duel quite significantly. Both have heals. There's the blind again. That's going to deny a lot of damage. And they're not able to deny the Dragon Knight here. But Chris, looking to at least try and get a kill, dives towers, but is not able to get it. Red team gets the Dragon Knight and will begin pushing this lane by Uther. Meantime, Chris continues to soak and has once again been met into a 2 versus 1 situation and is on the run. He is looking for a talent here. His heroic is available. If he took Ancestral here, if he gave up on the build right now, then he would be able to save himself here. But he commits. He commits to the build and he takes Bloodlust. He could have saved himself if he gave up. Now that is the kind of determination to finish a challenge that you've started that I like on this show. And Chris gets my seal of approval for committing. If he took Ancestral, he might be able to heal himself up, run past Jada, and maybe get out of there. But he was like, no, I made a promise that I would go full damage support. And I will finish this promise. And I will die here. So we're just going to head back into the game right now. Dragon Knight making its way up to the top lane to find the Zebo. The Zebo already quite low, so Dragon Knight could punt him here and maybe get him within tower range for Lily to kill, but instead decides to attack towers. And immediately, Zeratul trying to kill off the Zebo. The Zebo gets a heal. Void Prism hits no one. The Zebo, Micring, gets killed, but he kills off Zeratul in exchange. Misha, only one to end up in the Void Prism at all, gets himself stuck in it. And our hero, Rhaegar, is back alive. And, interesting point to note out here is Uther yet to take his heroic and is still actually following the damage build for now. Question is he also doing the challenge and just didn't send in this replay? We will find out in a second. He's actually taken Divine Storm, so we now have, as we have just found out, 2 people in this game doing the full damage support challenge. We have Chris, who is our hero, who will still be following, but he now has competition in the Uther, who is currently on my screen named Stunned, because I can't see his name. It is in fact Nephilim playing the full damage Uther, and they're teaming up together to try and kill these Ragabonds. The Divine Storm comes down, the Bloodlust comes down, they heal each other, they go for Vegeta, they get Vegeta, and now they're going for Spock. They want to try and finish him off as well. That Bloodlust does a lot of damage, and they're able to get the kill together, and that is teamwork. 2 people doing the full damage support, and they work together to secure a kill onto a non-support. Chris taking quite a bit of damage. They immediately turn around and chase out Zeratul. And this is absolutely hilarious. So Nephilim is... we're seeing Chris go back right now. Nephilim staying out, so we're just going to follow him for the moment until Chris re-arrives. Because now we actually have something to watch while Rhaegar is in base. So Nephilim, excuse me, heading to the bottom lane to see if that camp was being taken. It was, in fact, but he's unable to do anything about it. Instead, stuns up Lily. And we can see Rhaegar once again making his way back up to his top lane to continue to push, and he will attempt to grab the shrine. Uther heading down to the bot lane to help with this bruiser camp and take that for his own. Lily has died around here somewhere. There's the corpse. It's gone. Rhaegar finding Zeratul here, forcing him to back up again. We see Tyrande also go down here. Chris dives in with Feral Lunge, hugely aggressive here, and once again meets that duo that he's met so many times by now of Jada and Zeratul. Goes down, so now we'll follow Nephilim, who we also have selected here. And Nephilim is going to try and avenge his comrade and fight in a 2 versus 1 against these two and try and get the kill himself. He sees Zeratul coming from Divine Storm Zeratul and tries to turn around onto him, taking a lot of damage. He goes down though, very close to getting the kill. But this is why we should work together as a team instead of separating up and going one at a time. Uther, to even take it, Uther unfortunately is now deviating from the full damage build. He's taken the Blessed Champion here so that he can take the, so that he can get extra healing as opposed to extra damage where he could have taken the damage on the heal. Rexxar trying to kill off Jada here. They have control of the shrine. The Ring of Frost gets both Misha and Rexxar, but Jada coming back in. The bird almost hits her. Bear also chasing it, unable to get it. We're seeing Rhaegar in the mid lane, looking to try and take control of this Dragonite, but Lili is here to deny, but Nephilim is here as well. They want to get the kill. There's the stun, there's the damage, there's the slow. Zeratul behind, he is now the target. The lightning shield is used. The Feral Lunge and the Bloodlust try to kill off Zeratul. The Juggler Thousand Cups is keeping Zeratul sustained at the moment. They're trying to finish him off, chasing him down. Chris is not done. Feral Lunge once again is blocked out by Zeratul's block this time. Nephilim gets pulled inside the Void Prism. Lili is going to try and grab the Dragonite. Nephilim will turn around. Lili was not quick enough to react this time. And Zeratul is down to target again. Gets stunned up. He gets out, but Nephilim has bit the dust. Chris is on his own, fighting against 4 members of the red team right now. He goes down. And that is a Dragonite going over to the red team. Nope, it's a Kael'thas. Kael'thas just going to deny this for the moment. Nazebo is back alive. It's just those two right now. Kael'thas backing up away from this area, though. He has no idea where Zeratul is. Not going to take that risk, and he's just going to leave that Dragonite to go over to the red team. As you can see here, Rhaegar still alive. Dragonite just pushing in for this fort at the moment. This will be the first fort of the game to the red team. Blue team already a fort ahead after taking that bottom lane fort. Kael'thas taking a bit of damage. Trying to drop any amount of damage that he can, but is already dropping low. And now we can see our hero is back to life and he is just about to arrive on the scene. Nephilim also here to help out. Chris diving very, very deep here. There's a Divine Storm. Is he going to Bloodlust to get the chase? We're going to see Vegeta taking a lot of damage. There's the Feral Lunge to do a lot more damage here. And we're seeing the two supports just pushing forward together, trying to get anyone they can. But Bloodlust was not popped here. It was in fact on cooldown for a couple more seconds. Zeratul, though, is not as lucky and does get taken down. So that is still a 2 for 0. And their fort, unfortunately, did die. Rhaegar once again pushing forward. There's the Bloodlust. They want this one really badly. Zombie Wall cancelled. And Feral Lunge trying to take down Vegeta. But Vegeta is already gone. Rhaegar in full retreat. He's taking a bit of damage from the fort here. And down goes the Nazebo here. Parry Blossom. Also getting on dash. Chris just staying out of range of the strafe right now. Gets the heal onto Kael'thas. But it's not enough. And Chris survives. The rest of his team, though, dove a bit too deep there and did die. However, we are seeing the Rexxar and the Uther. They are able to take that camp. Chris, grabbing Fountain, get himself nice and healthy again, and will likely come help with this Bruiser camp. And we can also see that Rhaegar did in fact go for the Blood for Blood as his level 16 talent, giving himself that extra damage, that 10% of a hero's maximum health, not current health, as is with the Butcher's version of this, where the Butcher does 15% of current health. They're able to grab that. And now Rhaegar just going to soak the mid lane for the moment. Void Prism used down here. We can see it's on Nephilim. Nephilim trying to keep himself alive. Gets healed up by Rhaegar here. And does go down. But Rhaegar looking to avenge his friend here. And he does get it. Uther just chilling with him to make sure that he got it. These two working very well together. Being in a very good team. Healing each other. Doing damage with each other. And doing a pretty fantastic job overall. Chris scanning out for any ruffians, any vagabonds in this lane, while the rest of his team decides to fight up top. They get Jada. They're looking for Magina as well. Valor chases down Rexxar, though. Nazebo not really paying much attention, but Kael'thas will solve this. In the meantime, Chris is pushing the bot lane pretty much on his own, but he does a very decent amount of damage thanks to the lightning shield. Will get the tower, but for now is just going to back up and grab that shrine. And this could be another Dragonite going over to the blue team. They only have one fort so far. It's 1 fort to 1. Currently in this game. Nazebo waiting in the mid lane, and this is in fact going to be a Dragonite going over to the blue team, and Chris coming up to help support it. Eventually. He's also just going to stand there for a bit. So they're just going to start on this fort. Chris getting stunned up. We'll fast forward a bit, wait for most people to arrive, because they're also pushing top lane and grabbing that fort as well. Dragonite just taking up damage at the moment. Chris just doing damage at the moment, just making sure that this fort goes down while the Dragonite holds people busy. There it goes. Chris in full retreat at the moment, does get slowed, going to go into dog form, going to try and get himself out of there. Blood for Bloods onto that Zeratul, and they immediately blood us. Go for the chase. Void Prism, not enough to keep Zeratul alive. He gets taken down. The stun used, but that Void Prism can't be cancelled because Zeratul is dead. And the Bloodlust still active on the bear at the moment, but not going to be enough. That will expire, and the bear will go back to just being a normal badass Misha. By the way, yeah, I've said it before, every ability that works on heroes works on Misha, so Bloodlust, Abathur bonus attack speed, all very good. Valor with a great strafe there. Chris being forced to back up after taking quite a significant amount of damage. Dragonite expired. Misha getting picked off. A huge stun by Tyrande. And Chris healing up his team, being forced to go into a support role again, but is now beginning to move forward and be his damage role that he has always dreamed to be. He is the gladiator in the arena, and this is his arena. He wants to do damage. He has that level 20. The global Bloodlust can be active on anywhere on the map, which is pretty fantastic, and it can be cast without breaking Ghost Wolf. So that affects all minions and mercenaries as well, so it's just completely global. Huge amounts of damage. For now, though, just going to help out with his team. They're just going to be grabbing these mercenary camps. They're already looking good. They're taking down all 3 forts now. And in comes Red Team to try and deny this. Chris taking quite a bit of damage. Get in the circle. Able to grab the camp. Looking to try and get more damage. He's already quite low. Dodging the Ring of Frost. But Rexar was not so lucky. Currently a 1-0. Now it's a 2-for-1 in favor of our heroes. Chris giving chase. He now feels confident. He's trying to rush in here. Trying to grab someone. He doesn't have Bloodlust available. Instead goes for the tower. He needs to be careful of that Jada. Heals himself up. Gets himself healthy. Looking very greedy right now. Goes on to Jada, but he's in range of the keep right now. Taking a lot of damage. Goes for form again, and he's able to back out of that, so he does not get caught. Nephilim will not be so lucky. Takes a lot of damage. Heals himself, though, and is actually able to get out of there. And Chris still looking for aggression. There's the Bloodlust. He's going in onto Redovac here. Gets Lord B instead with his Feral Lunge. Trying to do damage. Gets blinded. Takes a lot of damage from that Hungering Arrow, and Chris able to get out just in time. They were still able to get Valor in the last of that, though, and that shall be counted as a success. So for now, Chris went super aggressive there. He's just heading down to that bot lane, making sure he is ready for that shrine, staying in his Ghost form so he gets healing from his Feral Heart. And more importantly, gets that mana regen. Zebo has died because of Zeratul. Zeratul, pretty aggressive. Chris chilling in this area. He wants the Dragonite, but his team needs to grab that first. In the meantime, his team is busy dying. But nice Divine Storm actually turns that fight around. Ring of Frost doesn't catch anyone except for Kael'thas, but Chris has now arrived. Needs to heal Nephilim, or Nephilim's going to die. There we go. Heals him just in time. We're seeing Misha going very, very ham on Zeratul. Gets a nice stun. Chris instead turns onto Medina, finds Radovac, and is going to turn onto him instead. Him and Parry Blossom will be able to take him down, and the Chain Bomb hits Medina. The stun and the Bloodlust, they're going very deep here. The Bear's not been affected by Bloodlust, whereas Rexar has, but they're still pushing forward, and the Feral Lunge will be available any second now. No, he just drops the slow instead, just continuing to push forward, but the slow, they're not able to chase through it, and they do get taken down. Zeratul is now the target, but the Void Prism lets him get out. And that was a very, very nice move by Zeratul. He is able to escape, at least for now. Dragonite snuck away in the background by Spock here. Very nice job. Chris choosing to ignore the Dragonite and is instead going to push with this Bruiser Camp. Just going to go super aggressive here. We're going to watch to see how this goes. He doesn't have Bloodlust available anymore. It's down for a long time. It's a very long cooldown ability. Rest of his team doing a good job of defense. Lily coming to join the Dragonite. Zeratul also coming to join the Dragonite. And Evgeny doing a decent job. Chris still pushing here, able to take down both towers, taking a little bit of damage from Tyrande, but he is Rhaegar. He's able to heal that back up pretty easily and keep himself nice and sustained. Instead goes on to Medina, going to try and take him down, dodges the stun. Doesn't have much mana, so we can't really dive any deeper. Is instead going to back up, finds Valor, and is in full retreat. Valor used the Blood for Blood on him and the Starfall, able to finish him off in the end. In the meantime, bit of a scuffle going on over here. Uther did die, but he does have Redemption available, so he will be back and be able to continue this assault. Ring of Frost catches the 2 main pursuers, except for the Zebo, who's trapped himself in a zombie wall and forced himself to take the entire duration of Blizzard. That is a little bit unfortunate. Misha takes a bit of damage. Rexar doing as much damage as he can, but nice engagement there by Kael'thas. Takes down Zeratul. Chain Bomb is able to catch Lily as well. There is the Pt.2, and Uther finally drops down. He's able to heal up Harry Blossom though, and Spock is very out of position here. Gets done by Misha. Harry Blossom once again with the aggressive blink, able to take him down. And this Kael'thas has been doing like he's not our hero. He's not our hero team, but he is not our hero in this game. He's been doing a pretty fantastic job of the entire game. So very good job there, Parry Blossom. So we're still waiting for Rhaegar to respawn. Rexar, on the other hand, is clearing out these lanes. We can look at some of the other heroes. We already saw Redemption. The Frenzy of Calibdor coming in from the Rexar, which gives him that extra attack speed and makes attack slow, which is pretty awesome for him. We have the Boulder Storms from the Kael'thas and the Nazebo. Chris arriving just in time. Zeratul with Nexus Blades going for that full damage style with Stone Skin as his last ability. Cold Snap from Jaina. No, never really seen that hit, so that's going to be interesting to see. So let's deal Wrath just for that global star full extra damage. Kung Fu Hustle for Lily, of course, and the Nexus Frenzy for Valor for the extra damage. So Chris just helping his team grab this Bruiser camp for the moment. Just going to be clearing that out. And they're going to be able to grab this bottom shrine as well. Top shrine going over to our enemies here, to the villains. And our heroes just pushing very hard in this bot lane. Spock getting chased down, but is able to get out of there. Does not want to get caught out. Chris finds a lot of enemies. Gets caught in the Ring of Frost and he goes down. Bad positioning there. That's why you don't face check. Zeratul blinking out. And the Ring of Frost, the center Ring of Frost, does actually capture the bear. And we're going to see Misha chase in here, trying to get Redovac. But looks like Misha may go down as well as Evgeny. Taking a lot of damage from Zeratul. Gets taken down. We see Kael'thas trying to be the hero we all deserve here. Nephilim trying to get in there. There is that mana barrier, that arcane barrier there, doing a lot of damage. Takes down Zeratul, turning on to Jaina, but he doesn't have the damage anymore. He goes down. The Spiders trying to finish off Jaina, but Nazebo is on his own here. He really should leave. Those are some very, very accurate pings. Uther was able to get out, but was not enough. Someone does, in fact, need to sneak up to that top lane and grab that shrine. Nazebo just hanging around here. Very risky place to be, seeing as this is the one place that the enemy is likely to be heading. And if he even chooses to face check, Zombie Walls finds Valor and has killed himself. He is gone. Luckily, Uther was up top in time to grab that shrine and prevent a Dragon Knight from happening. So yeah, good job. Rhaegar is back to life, and we're going to be jumping on board with him. Fast forward to the action, as for now, they're just going to be spending their time defending this top shrine to make sure it doesn't happen. Kael'thas wants to retreat. Rexar going for that bottom shrine. He's actually going to be able to get that, so we should expect to see the enemies coming on their way to the top shrine. So we're just going to have a peek here. We're going to have a quick peek. We can see that instead they're grabbing mercenaries. They believe it's a safe thing to do, and it is a fairly safe move to do, because they are able to grab that safely without too much danger of putting themselves in. There is that Bruiser camp going over. And Chris just farming up the lane right now. He knows the Bruiser camp's taken. He knows that this is likely the place they're heading, or they'll be heading to the mid lane. They've caught someone on vision. They're going to try and punish it. It's Valor. And Valor getting caught by Uther, getting hit by a lot of damage. Divine Storm goes down. In the meantime, two people, we saw the Rexar just die in the mid lane as he tried to grab the Dragon Knight. So the Dragon Knight is now the target. They should really try and grab it before this bottom shrine does go down. We can see Tyrande over here. Zeratul was still last spotted in the mid lane. For now, though, they continue to defend this top shrine with their lives, even though the bottom one is the one that's likely to disappear. And they're finally beginning to make their way down to that middle lane. Chris takes a Singularity Spike, but he's not going to give up. Takes some damage. Needs to heal. Heals himself pretty nicely. And there's the Bloodlust. They're going to try and get Zeratul so quickly, and they do. Void Prism only buying time here. Bloodlust even used on Kael'thas here. Doing some damage. Currently, it's 1 for 0, but the numbers advantage is still in favor of our heroes. Jaina using her Ice Block, but that's not going to be enough to save her as they turn around onto her. She tries to retreat, but Living Bomb does catch her. Lily now in full retreat. Jungle Phantom Cups is gone. Zombie Wall is good. There's the stun. There's the Flame Strike. Lord B, with that extra speed, though, and the extra heal thanks to Kung Fu Hustle, is getting out of here. And while this is happening, someone stuck to bot lane and grabbed the shrine. And this is the issue. They have managed to delay this long, and the shrine did go over. So they have managed to win the fight. They are now 5 versus 3, thanks to a very convincing fight. Uther grabbing at that shrine, and the Dragon Knight will go over to our heroes. At level 23, 24 minutes in, that is 1,000 plus damage for every auto attack that the Dragon Knight does do. Chris coming in behind. Divine Storm caught both of those heroes there. And Chris coming in, doing his extra damage, using his lightning shield on himself, doing the damage, and he's able to take down Valor. Lily gets punted away. She will survive for at least a couple more seconds, or at least a couple more minutes, as the Dragon Knight pushes in to the core. Chris will go to join it. And this is going to be a victory for our heroes here. Chris finds Zeratul again. Stays alive though. There is that lightning shield pushing in. Gonna do his damage. He does not have bloodlust. Still 51 seconds on that. But they do not need it to end. They in fact turn around onto Zeratul. He uses Stone Skin. The Ring of Frost kills off our hero there. But the Dragon Knight still half health. And he kills off the core far quicker than they kill off him. Look at that. Doing so much damage with every hit. And that is GG. And our heroes take another game with the full damage Rexar, and that was a pretty fantastic game. So super well played by Chris there, and little bit of a props to Nephilim in the background there. He did a very nice job. He almost managed to become the second unofficial member of this video of the Tetcher community challenges, but unfortunately he decided to take the healing autos as opposed to the damage on his Q ability. So he is unfortunately excluded, but he still gets a shout out, as well as Parry Blossom, who did an incredible job of managing to kill basically everything as Kael'thas there. Really nice Kael'thas play. But that is it for this particular part. The next part will be out tomorrow, so you'll be able to watch the conclusion of this in our last two games. And for now, this is going to be it. But to remind you guys that next week's challenge has already been announced in part 1, and I will announce it in this part and next part. Next week's challenge is going to be find any hero that has any kind of lifesteal ability, and I'm being very vague about that, and I want you to just work with that. Just show me your best game with that, and I will once again show an example of kind of what I mean with lifesteal ability. So we're being very, very vague. The only thing I am disallowing is Blood for Blood. You can have Blood for Blood if you already have something else, but Blood for Blood cannot be the only thing you have. So for example, Vampiric Strike, that's allowed. It's doing damage and healing you at the same time. Transcendence, you're doing damage, it's healing you. That's allowed. Diablo, Lord of Terror, and also the Life Leech. That is all allowed. And we will even accept stuff like Leoric, and of course just the Vampiric Assault coming in from people like the Falstad. So just show me your best game with any kind of Life Leech. You are not allowed to just use Blood for Blood. And I just want your best game, your most exciting about that. I don't want any more info than that. You can go full damage, you can go full sustain. I don't care what you do. Just show me something interesting. The cooler it is, the more likely I am to pick it. So guys, thank you very much for watching. Be sure to come back tomorrow for part 3, where we'll go over our last 2 replays. And once again, guys, thank you very much for watching, and I will see you all tomorrow.